It's very scary.
Welcome to Ghosted, everybody. I'm Doug Damien. That's Rob Wilds. And today, Rob Wild's stomach is in a bunch of little knots. So he's a little nervous today. And
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe. Who's Kayfabe?
You know that guy.
Oh, okay. Kayfabe's that guy.
Yeah.
I saw Kayfabe rummaging through the dumpster behind the Taco Bell on Howe and Hurley.
Kayfabe needs a job.
Kayfabe, yeah. Yeah, he does. So, anyway, we're doing something a little different today. Instead of playing videos, we're going to talk about our own paranormal experiences because apparently, Rob, there was some a-hole somewhere saying some sort of shit of some kind.
Yeah, this guy, this cunty Facebooker, sent me over a message saying, "Ooh, what makes you guys such big experts?" And my response was really to him was really pretty simple. Of well, it's our fucking show. Number one, number two. See, we have microphones, so that makes us experts. In reality, we was ghost hunting before ghost hunting was a fucking thing. Like we were out there doing, we didn't even really consider it ghost hunting. We just knew where the hot spots were, and we went out there to see what we could see. But we
Yeah,
weren't trying to capture evidence and bring proof to light. We just wanted to experience it, and we've done some seen some pretty grisly shit.
yeah. Hey, you might want to bring your microphone a little bit closer. When you did your microphone gimmick and put it up to your mouth, it suddenly got quieter afterward.
Oh shit, is that better?
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better.
All right, yay!
Yeah,
See, it's that asshole. He made me fuck up my
that's
microphone.
right. I'm going to blame it everything that goes wrong today on that asshole. So
Before we jump into our experiences and all that good shit, let's play a commercial for another show on the network, shall we?
I am going to hold on. It has something to do with shooting
Whoa.
and some sort of something with a platform elevated with ropes. I yes, shoot
All
ropes.
right, Karnak, let's see what it is.
Check out Wrestle Shoot, where three
Hey!
veteran
Oh,
wrestlers shoot from the hip about anything in pro wrestling. No filters, no sugarcoating, and yeah, we're calling out the bullshit.
That's
If it
right.
sucks, we say it. If it's great, we still talk shit.
That's right.
Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Subscribe to not miss a thing.
That doesn't look like me at all. Jesus Christ. All right, so let's get into it. Doug, what would you say? How old would you say you were when you had your first supernatural experience?
well, my first time where I really truly believed that something supernatural, paranormal, or whatever was going on, I would say around 13. Although there were some weird experiences I can look back on in hindsight when I was a little kid, and I wonder. I don't like that little girl in the garage at that those people's house, so I can't even remember, um, and a few other things. But you know, but officially in my mind, it would be about 13.
Wonder what sets the difference with like, because I think that all kids could see into a different realm that most adults can't. So I wonder what the common thread is between us that kind of survived. Like as we got older, it didn't just go away.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm convinced. The house we moved into right before I turned 13. Actually, might have been 12 going on 13 when the first, because I mean, as soon as we moved into that house, it was the summer of '88, and I was a few months away from turning 13, and I mean, almost immediately with the beads and that we would find those strings of beads and the other just little weird shit. It's like, what the hell's going on in this place? It's a brand new build. I mean, literally 6 months ago
Yeah.
when we moved in, it was a concrete slab, so it was weird. So yeah, I mean, it was around that age that, and just, I think it might have been that, and plus me becoming a teenager, going through puberty. They say teenagers can really bring out about all the energy and stuff they have with all the turmoil inside and everything. They
Right.
that naturally go through that sends a lot of energy out to really feed whatever might already be there and to really manifest shit. So I don't know.
I think mine was. I think it was before my sister was with us, so that would make me younger than 7.
Right.
And then I think I've told the story on the show before of my dad up in the attic putting up some insulation, doing some repairs, and then I saw the woman sitting Indian style way at the other end, but it didn't strike me as weird. It didn't strike me as anything except, oh, look at that. And then my young brain just dismissed it. I was standing up on the ladder looking into the attic. Mom says, come on down for lunch. So I come down. Dad climbs down. Dad fell, was going to take a straight back fall, probably going to land on me, but he stopped falling. He did. In mid fall, he stopped falling, and then his feet swung down underneath him. And of course, he rationalized it. Oh, I was crazy luck, blah 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 blah. But
Right.
that was. But it's really been like a regular thing my whole life. It's not something that ever even got the dial turned down for me.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I mean, living in that house. I mean, after in my adult years, yeah, there's been a few little things here and there. Uh, Even in this house right now, we wonder. Some people think that there's some shit going on in this house, and I've heard some weird things. I'm not going to say for sure that it's haunted, but it is a 113-year-old house, or 116-year house. So, and there's been a lot of shit in here. So it could be I'm just numb and tired all the time, so I don't pick up on things as much as I did before. But other
The
people,
likelihood of somebody actually dying in a house that's over 100 years old is pretty fucking high.
well, especially at one point, this house was once some sort of a like a care facility of some kind way back when, and there used to yeah we have this one big ass closet that used to be a dumb waiter, because there's a downstairs that another tenant lives in. We don't have, from inside, we don't have direct access down there, because
Right.
the stairways have been blocked off and shit, so there have been renovations. But at one point, yeah, this was some sort of two-story. I can't remember what they said it was, a care home type for
I
some
was
sort
really
of.
hoping you were going to say it was the best little whorehouse in Auburn.
What? Rob, kayfabe.
Oh, who's kayfabe?
Um, so yeah, I mean, it would make sense that there'd be some weird shit going on, and also that toy in my closet. Just last year, my granddaughter, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
my granddaughter didn't. It was hers, and she didn't like it. The older one, Angie, and then the other two, the twins, the little toddlers, they started playing with it, and then the girl toddler, she the girl twin, she had a weird experience with it, and then Angie threw it out the door, and and so I've nothing's happened with it so far, just sitting in my closet, but I still want to tinker with it at some point and see what happens.
a wind-up toy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So all right, I mean, we have so many fucking stories of shit that we have seen and done that we can get into, but what's like your most prevalent? one?
Oh, for me, I would say the most prevalent one would be the exploding glass of orange juice. That's got to be. I mean, that was just so blunt and in front of other people that, I mean, it was like an invisible person with an invisible golf club just walked up, golf swing, boom, and just exploded glass shards clear across the room, fanning the entire room. And my dad had the
And the thing
vacuum the
is,
whole
though, about
place.
your house is there were absolutely, without a doubt, some ghosts in your house that very much wanted you guys to know that they were there.
Oh yeah, I mean that yeah, it's like they knew they. I hear so many different things about some ghosts don't know they're dead and others do. Well, if that's the case, these ghosts definitely knew they had to know they were dead because I mean, what were they haunting an area of land and then all of a sudden, oh, here's a house, And I mean, we don't know exactly how all that works, but yeah, I definitely, yeah, they definitely wanted attention,
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure.
And me and my brother, as far as those who lived in the house, me and my brother were the only ones who paid attention. I he was almost 8 years younger than me, but so I had to be careful how I acted around him. But my parents, obviously they were doing the skeptical. Oh, come on, that's ridiculous. This is a brand new house, and there's no such thing. Blah blah blah. Probably just so we don't completely freak out. But it's
Eric
like,
really saw a lot of shit too. Like he
oh yeah,
was very in tune. I remember we were going out to the garage to do the weights thing. You were ahead of me, and I was coming up the rear. And Eric jumped out and grabbed my wrist, and I said, "Hang on a second, buddy." He goes, "No, no, no, no," and he was pointing over by the front door. So I looked and went, "What? What do you see?" And he goes, "I guess nothing." And then he just kind of let it go and went about his business. And I just
huh?
wrote it off as a kid's imagination. But he saw something that made him grab the first bigger person and
Yeah.
say, "Stop! Listen! No! Look! Look!"
Wow. I didn't. Yeah, I that's first I heard about that one,
Oh
but
no! I told you the day. I'm sure I told you when it happened. I don't know. Maybe.
oh, you
Maybe.
probably did. You probably did. I just can't remember.
Yeah.
That's fair. um.
So I guess for me it would be getting the fuck beat out of me in that graveyard.
Oh yeah.
Well, that
Yeah. That.
actually. Hang on a second. That or when we took my sister and her friend out to that cemetery and rescue.
Okay. I know the
Remember?
cemetery you're talking
Yeah,
about.
we took
I,
them out there because they just had to see a ghost, and we got there. Those wind things started blowing, and noises were happening, and like shit was going on. I remember it scared the fuck out of them so bad. They ran back to my car, jumped in, locked the doors, and wasn't about to let us in. And then when we finally got them to open the doors, the car wouldn't start. So we actually
oh
jumped
God.
out.
Okay. Now, ding dong.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Now I'm remembering this more. Yeah. The car wouldn't goddamn start, and yeah. Oh,
Until we rolled it just outside the gate. Then it fired right up.
with them inside, like
Yep.
looking freaked out, and we're pushing this shit. Oh God, yes. I remember the rescue cemetery, and it had some weird things that the wind blew, and it made weird noises inside. So that, but then yeah, that was, oh God,
But the weird thing about that night was those windmills, those little kid twirlers,
hmm
those all started going fast at once, but not a leaf was moving. Not a breeze was happening. It got really still than it was before they started spinning. And it was
yeah.
creepy. And then of course there was over in the corner the shadow dude that would pop up out of that one grave for a few seconds and drop back down.
I never seen that. I don't think I ever did. I see this shadow. Refresh my memory because I'm.
So
Did
where the cement table that we would sit at with the stoops,
yeah.
and then there was that big ass tree. So from when we're sitting there, and you're the one who pointed it out to me, you said, "Does it look darker in front of that?" headstone over there. It was a
Yes,
tall,
yes,
pointy
yes,
one.
yes. Okay.
And I was like, and then I looked and I said, I don't know what you're talking about till it went back down to the ground. We went, oh shit.
That's yeah. Okay. Okay. Because I was picturing that place during the day, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
a shadow in the day. What you know, I was like, and then all right, but usually we went at night, and so yeah, that okay.
That's when the shit went down. We went in the daytime once and it was just a regular
Yeah.
old graveyard full of dead
Well,
people.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Man, man, that place brings back some memories.
And at the
All right,
risk of
people.
sounding too conspiratorial, I absolutely believe in werewolves. I just do.
Right,
Or at least whatever the creature is that we have associated with what a werewolf is. Because we
right.
had the incident on Bass Lake Road.
Mm-hmm.
We had that incident in Placerville, which we'll get into that here in just a second. But then I remember in Rescue at that same cemetery, outside the gates, we were hearing the rustling and the snarling, and not like a bear noise would make. And yeah, there were coyotes, but coyotes didn't snarl; they kind of yipped at each other.
Yeah, yeah.
There were
Coyotes make
mountain lions up
sounds.
there for sure, but mountain lions were hunters, so they weren't just walking around in the brush snarling either. So
Yeah.
in my mind then, and it stays true to this day, there was a werewolf out beyond that fence walking around, maybe more than one.
Hmm. Yeah. I would say I would now you've been on this show and you've said that you don't believe werewolves like in the folklore they turn back into humans
Right.
or or anything. They're just permanently in that sort of a form.
I just think that they're creatures that were born like that and live like that and die like that.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
It's
If
just
that's the
a
case.
different kind of cryptid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That would make sense if and then folklore turned it into people turning into wolves and then turning back if they've got humanoid like proportions and
Right.
you know instead
Longer
of
arms.
wolf dog proportions. But yeah.
But then but that also goes to Placerville, and there was that for the viewers. I'm obviously not telling you the story, but we were at a there in Placerville, California, is this immense and really old but massive, huge cemetery. And where we would start off, you walk up a hill, you get to the top of the hill, and you get to what feels like the focal point of energies of that cemetery by their circular memoriam wall with all the ashes in it.
Right.
And then there was a really large tree, and we would always walk over that, go down, start getting to the really older section to try and find something cool. And we heard noises, noises, noises. We had a couple of gals with us that day. And I glance back up the top of the hill and I see what appears to be a large black dog. And I thought, oh shit, somebody's big old dog is out and he's right there. And then a second one came out. Now, the only way back
Wow.
to the car was going by way of those dogs. So, of course, we pulled out our blades. We always carried really big, fucking dangerous weapons.
We're yeah.
And we are slowly walking back up towards the hill to those dogs. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Hoo-ah, ooh. Those dogs weren't even phased by us. They casually turned around and walked back towards that one massive tree. And these girls are crying and get ready to panic, get ready to run. And I'm grabbing those broads by the back of their shirts, going, do not run. Then they're going to
Yeah.
say, ooh, playing chase me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to start
So
running.
we get up the hill, and Doug is very much don't look over there, don't make eye contact, don't challenge those dogs. So we get over the hill, we start walking down. Of course, Rob never listens. And I turned around and looked under the tree. And there was like six of those black dogs. But you could only tell that there were six of them because you could see the silhouettes. They were all standing up. And it was very dark up there, but you could see that there was dogs up there.
Yeah.
And then this giant thing, shadow, just stood up in front of the tree, like three times the size of the dogs. And we were just like, keep walking, don't run, keep walking. And we got the fuck out of there. And we didn't go back there for a little bit after that.
Yeah, no. When you experience something like that, it's like, okay, well, clearly someone's established a territory, and
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 luckily for us, clearly someone just ate.
and even normal wolves are very territorial. So how territorial are these goddamn things? It's like, yeah, wow.
Then there was that creepy Masonic little tiny cemetery behind that old church in Folsom.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little, yeah, it had that little church-like building in it, and
That was
the
clearly not a church any longer or a cemetery that was used or maintained any longer. It's like
no,
bodies are in the ground, it's maxed out, church is shut down, move on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We used to hang out there, and
And
man,
that was just for the audibles that we would catch. Like, again, we weren't carrying around recorders or cameras.
just so people understand, just for context, that we were a lot of this was when we were still in high school, and we graduated high school in 1993. So we're talking early 90s. They didn't have we didn't have these things walking around all over the place. We didn't have people did not have cameras with them at all times, or sound equipment or anything. I mean, those things were expensive. We were kids in high school, making it work on, like, $20 a week for chores around the house and crap,
Yeah.
or $30 a week, and I'd stretch that out for gas and a little bit of food, and somehow I made that work. And a lot of the time, and so, yeah, we're just,
Ah,
it was not a normal thing to be walking around with video cameras. Video cameras were big expensive things that if you were lucky, your parents bought one and you could sneak one out of the house. But my parents never bought one. I don't think yours
yeah, me
did.
either. Uh-uh.
Yeah, so it's like, and they were VHS. So, it just, it was a different
And
time.
what's
It was a very
funny, because
different time.
before all the ghost hunting TV shows and any of this, try to get some audio recordings even, we were still thinking of trying to do that at your house with that cassette player you had, hitting the
Oh
play
yeah.
and record at the same time,
Yes.
challenging it. And we did get that one little sound that could have been audio, but we were hearing the plates chattering and whatnot on the tape when the real party, because we were challenging the fuck out of a ghost in your house that night. And that
Oh,
was the
oh,
doors all slamming and all that shit.
oh God. That night was that. Yeah, we were being little shits. Like, really go. It's just us. Bring it, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The rattling.
why don't you do something besides break a kid's glass, you pussy? Just talking all kinds of shit.
And man, that night was that. Yeah, yeah. That was.
But I was convinced at your house that night, that because the lightning was really bad. There was a real hard storm out that night.
Yep.
So I could have maybe said, there's got to be an excuse why all the doors slammed at once. I could have maybe said, who knows why the plates in the cabinet are jingling a little bit. There could be due to the storm and shaking outside from the thunder. But seeing the woman at the top of your stairs, you can't fucking argue with that, because we went up there. There was nobody home but us.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's and it and that was confirmation for me, because I had seen her walk into my bedroom, look out the window, walk right back out a few years earlier when I was around 14ish, I want to say. And and I had been telling you, talking your ear off about this woman, partially
Yeah.
because I was a hormone-ridden teenager. But no,
Why doesn't she show me her ghost tits?
yeah, really. But but then I always, even trying to keep a mind of well, let try to debunk, to try and debunk and make sure that it's a legitimate and not some, like I was half asleep having a
Yeah.
dream. I always wondered, well, I am a teenager, maybe I was just having a dream about a woman walking into my bedroom with hair down to the small of her back. But then when there was confirmation, legit, when you went, holy shit, there she is, and I looked up and I went, oh fuck, and she's just standing down there staring at me, you know and or staring at us, and I'm just like, holy
See, I
shit.
think I think my reaction was a little bit more Christmas morning because I remember seeing her and getting that chill and freezing, and then it kind of let go of me, and I was like, oh my god, look, she's right there, there she is, she's right there. Then you come running over. I told you, I fucking told you. You did tell me she's right there, and then she just turned around, walked towards your room, and was gone.
So I don't know what your visual memory of that moment was like, seeing her at the top of the stairs, but this, that woman, entity, whatever, she was in a white robe and everything, and that got me on a kick about, it eventually led me to studying about women in white and the different
Right.
woman in white legends, and that and which eventually led me to write the Ghoul Girl, create this Ghoul Girl character. And I've now written a movie script and everything, and I want to make this movie at some point. But, a few years ago, my daughter playing the Ghoul Girl and everything, we did some test footage a few years ago around here. And I put it on Night Screamer Productions YouTube channel and stuff, different little short videos and stuff. And, but I have, as the wallpaper on my phone, I took a screenshot of my daughter as the Ghoul Girl with all the effects I did, blue background and everything. And I never realized until one day I looked at it, and this still shot reminds me of how a lot of how she looked at the top of the stairs all those years ago at that house. And if you can,
Yes.
I
Yeah, the
mean,
blue backlight. So the blue backlighting, and what I remember about that
yeah,
was what I saw. She didn't have any like feet. It all kind of glazed out at the end, and then
yes.
I could see this blue backlighting, which I have no idea where that blue even came from. But I hang on. But where she was standing, I could see where you have the top landing and then the stairs go down. She
Mhm.
was past that where the first step down would have gone, like she was still standing on the platform, but out farther than it, kind of levitating above that last to the top
Right,
step.
right.
That's burned in my brain forever. That was
Yeah.
so vivid.
So that backlighting, I remember it was because the the uh the TV room door, that little room with the bay window, it was
Yeah.
open. And that was just light from like
Oh
neighbors'
yeah, yeah.
yard lights and street lights and shit coming through the curtain and diffusing in a certain way, so it just lit it up
So
in kind
all
of
the
a
doors
bluish.
slammed after we saw her.
No, the doors were slamming earlier in the day when it was still daylight out. When we were watching movies and shit. I don't remember the doors slamming after her. I remember doors slamming before her,
Before
like
her, yes.
hours.
How was that door open?
Oh, I think we were running around
Oh,
all
we
over the
went
place.
upstairs and investigated. Duh. Yeah,
Yeah,
never
we
mind.
were
That was
opening. We were in and out of my room. We were investigating other rooms. We were opening doors ourselves after they slammed several times with the windows shut. So there was no wind blowing. Yeah. I mean, those doors were opening and closing so many times that night that, yeah, no, we we
That's
we
right. I
got.
remember. I remember going to the front door when you were upstairs, trying to hard open and hard close the door to see if that would do it. We were
Yeah,
really trying to debunk the hell out of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My parents wouldn't appreciated me slamming doors over and over again, but yeah, they yeah, that's where the light came from. But but yeah, this image
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
creepy.
I mean, it's yeah, and again, I mean, obviously, that's my daughter is the ghoul girl, but she, one day I looked at, it, I went, holy shit, it just like clicked. I went, what a weird, like almost like a subconscious thing on my part to choose that exact frame to create a still shot, and it just happens to look like the actual woman in white we saw all that when we were kids.
I'm quite sure I had to have told the tale about getting the shit beat out of me on this show, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
I was gonna say, as far as for me, most prominent, obviously the glass of orange juice that happened literally right in front of me. But I would say second prominent. I mean, would have to be as crazy as that night was seeing her at the top of the stairs and all of that. The second most prominent, well, it would either be the heavy breathing in the TV room
TV
when I
room.
was, I think 13. I was thir- I think I was 13, and or my me throwing you over my shoulder to get you out of that fucking graveyard after you got your ass kicked. I'm like, what the fuck? And you got slammed into me, and I slammed into a tree. And it's like, oh no, we're out. No, I want to fight. And you were like, you were insistent you were just going to stand your ground and you were going to fight this thing. I'm like, nope, we're done. Over the shoulder, sack of potatoes to the barbed wire fence, dump your ass
Well,
over.
only because, and this is something I've never heard of happening ever since, was, I mean, you were there, and that one guy, I can't remember his name, he was there when I was getting beaten up and you were running to help me, and I got up and just did that. Like, there was impact. I felt, and it stopped my hand. I hit something. I was like, well, if I can hit you, then I can win. So I'm going back for more. That was dumb.
Right. You're only invisible, and God only knows what else. But yeah, yeah. And then I was having to drag you back to the car that was down the street. It's like, we're done, we're done, we're done.
Well, and it was also talking shit in my ear. I heard it the whole time till
Really?
we drove away and actually left. I heard, come back, come back in here. I want you to come back here. I mean, I
Wow.
personally offended a ghost, and that's why they waited years till I came back and then handed me my punk ass for it.
Right, right. They and that friend of ours, Dorian, that was with us. I think
Dorian,
that was the first night that he actually, like, we knew him from school and stuff, and he was
right?
cool, but he, that was the
He
first time he
wasn't
ever
ready.
actually went out with us just to hang out, and we, oh, what's Rob and Doug do on a Saturday night, kind of a thing, and that was the last time he's like, and I remember I dropped you off at your house, and I says, do not go back there. I'm like, don't. I gotta drop him off. He wants to go home. He's freaked out. Do not go back there. And okay, fine, I won't. And I'm like, yeah, right. and then I remember thinking, and then I took a little ways away to the apartments that he lived in, and I sat there. I says, hey Dorian, what did you see? I wanted to know what,
I've never heard
like,
this part. Let's go.
I just, well, so there was, when I was I had walked away and I was checking out those collapsed in graves over here, and you guys are by that tree and kind of
Right.
closer to the barbed wire fence, and all of a sudden I just hear slam into the wooden fence and and everything. I went, and I go back, and you're on your hands and knees, and I looked at Dorian, like, there's a stupid part of me. I thought, did you fucking do this? And there's no way. Dorian was tiny. There's no way he was going to throw you
Yeah, he's
around. But I
about
mean, that,
that big.
yeah, I mean, and he's just like by the fence, like looking completely freaked. I went, what? Oh, shit, and then I'm helping you up. You got thrown into my midsection, and I went back a foot or two slammed into that tree and knocked the wind out of me, and then I carried you out of there. But but there's that part of me that wants to debunk things, like maybe he tripped and fell and thought something got him. I don't know. But then I was also rationalizing, trying to, how did your whole you're stiff legged, completely straight, and you somehow shoulder tackle into my midsection, and I go back. My mind was kind of scrambled. I was trying to assess everything, so I sat with Dorian when I was dropping him off, and I says, "So what exactly did you see? What did it look?" And he just looked at me like this. He goes, "Doug, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I want to go to bed. I don't want to talk about this. I no, Doug, no." And he refused. And then the following Monday, because you and I, just people don't know, Rob and I went to two different schools, and Dorian went to my school. But Monday I went to Dorian and I says, "Hey man, how you doing?" "I'm okay." He says, "So, want to talk about Saturday night?" And he goes, "No, no, I don't." And he kind of, I mean, he was still our friend, but he kind of got a little
Yeah.
more distant from us. He just kind of, "No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it at all." And I could never get him. I mean, I eventually was like, "Okay, cool," but he was freaked. As far as, yeah, he was just, he didn't want anything
So
to
a
do with
part of the story I don't know if you know, I'm sure you do, but I know they don't. So when you were off looking at the graves that were imploded, you
it.
remember those were the graves that I wouldn't go anywhere near because
Right,
of how I behaved when I was younger on those graves. So I was
right.
like, I'm just gonna stay over here. You go check it out, and you're like, dude, this grave is imploded. Then I heard me, 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 me. So I looked over at Dorian,
Dorian.
and I said, what's that? And he goes, what? I didn't say anything. Like, oh, okay. And then a quick little, like, on my back shoulder. I said, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, I didn't touch you. I saw that. And I didn't touch you. Like, okay, you didn't touch me. And then, boom, into the fence. Boom, onto that fucking big tree, then to the ground. And I hear Dorian going, and I hear as you come charging over. And I knew as I'm trying to get up, and my ribs feel like a truck just hit me. Like he has to think that Dorian's over here whooping my ass.
Well, yeah, you had gotten onto your hands and knees, and you're like struggling, and I went, and Dorian's just like back here like this, and I went, for just a split second, I thought, no, there's no way that's yeah. Dorian decided to go out and just to kick both our asses himself.
Well, we didn't
This
know
was
he
just,
was a ninja.
yeah, we didn't know, but
So then,
but yeah,
yeah, then fucking you go to help me up, and all of a sudden, we had a much more intimate encounter than we would have thought as the ghost tried to push me through you.
yeah. Well, you said recently that it felt like your feet kind of came off the ground a little bit, and you went shoulder tackling into me,
They did
which,
come off the ground.
yeah, which makes sense because my whole life until you said that, I didn't realize it felt like that to you. I just know that good old Alice Cooper doll. I just know
Okay.
that your legs were
Show me on the
completely,
doll where, oh, that's not where he touched me.
no, no, your legs are completely stiff, like they weren't bent. Like if you're going to shoulder tackle someone, you want to use your leg power, and you're
Get
crouched
into it.
down
Yeah.
and you spring with your legs to really get into someone. And your legs were completely like this, and I'm helping you up, and all of a sudden you just went like, to me it looked like you just went, which makes no sense
Yeah.
because you can't move that way without bending your legs or waddling your legs or something, stiff-legged waddling. You just went and hard enough into my midsection that I went back into that tree and
Into that
got the wind
tree. Yeah.
knocked out of me. And it just never made it. It was like glitching the matrix to me. It never made any sense. But you felt your feet being picked up. It's like, oh, that, okay, yeah, boom, like that. It's like, okay,
But
that
also, and I
that
mean,
makes sense.
like I wasn't totally off the ground. I could feel my toes dragging across the ground as we were both going
Right.
into that tree.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Yeah.
take much to. Yeah, that.
And poor Dorian, like he was standing there ready to start crying. He was terrified.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he got himself over the. I'm pretty sure he got himself on the other side of the barbed wire fence.
I'm sure.
I don't remember having to help him, but I don't know. I was so concentrated. Yeah, that's probably the case because I was so concentrated on making sure you didn't jump back in there to try to fight whatever the fuck that was. That it's like, no, we're going, Rob. This visitation is done.
And the
Close the books.
stupidest part of this story is you actually had to dump me, boom, dead sack over the top of the barbed wire so you could climb out.
Yeah,
And as you're getting your footing back, I'm trying to crawl back underneath to go back in. You're grabbing my boots, pulling my ass back out. What do you stop it? That was
yeah.
dumb.
Well, and I don't know how many pairs of pants because we had visited that place a few times before, and that barbed wire, you got to be really careful stepping over. I don't know how many times I got holes in the crotch of my pants because the stupid barbed wire sprang up and poked a hole in it, right near where you don't want to get poked like that.
Yeah.
But
Right
so
in
I'm
the
like,
bullseye.
so I'm still very carefully. I dumped you over, and then I'm very carefully stepping so I don't ruin another pair of pants. And then, oh fuck, Rob! God damn it!
Now, something that a lot of people here don't know is we were in El Dorado County. And
Yeah.
El Dorado County is nationally recognized as one of the most haunted counties in the United States because of how far back the activity goes, back to gold panning and settlements and all that stuff. So people
Mm-hmm.
had been dying in probably every square inch of that county for the last couple 100 years.
Yeah, at least.
And then you had Hangtown, where they would publicly hang innocent people right there in the middle of the fucking city, right there off the old courthouse. They had that hangman's post, and they would drag them up
Yeah.
from the street. They wouldn't drop a platform out, let their neck break. They would drag them up, tie them up, and let them kick till they died. So there was some pretty horrific, violent endings to people's lives up there.
Right. Right. And that one building, what building was that? There's always that building where they had like a dummy or a mannequin hanging.
Yeah,
from a window.
that was the courthouse where they would hang.
Oh,
them from.
okay. Yeah. I always thought that was a nice decoration. Right.
That was
Right near
historical.
yeah. Right near the infamous 3-story parking lot that a non-paranormal, just us being stupid event happened. So
Just being dumb kids. Then, of course, there's the Benetti house. We've gotten to the Benetti house so many fucking times.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just beating a dead horse at this point. But, like, ghosts can't be proven, right? Can't be disproven. I feel like there's a lot more evidence floating around out there that they are legit rather than just the clickbait shit that people are putting up. But there's a lot more legit evidence that can't be disproven rather than naysayers who say, well, you can't prove it.
right. I all I can say is with all my experiences by myself and with you, that there's there's legitimate, I never was, but I could never be an atheist because I've seen too much. I've seen, I mean, that you don't really hear about atheists believing in ghosts because they don't believe we have souls. They just believe once we die, that's it. Boom, done. We're done.
That's it. Yeah.
And we're a cosmic accident or whatever. But I could never be that. I've seen too much. That's
Well, if we're gonna take
and they wouldn't
final
believe
thought
they wouldn't
here,
believe any of our shit. They'd come up with whatever. It's like whatever. I know what I know.
right? And going back to the whole, atheism. When I was doing one of my stints in jail, when I was going down that bad road in life, I decided to start going down to church. You know, I'm Catholic, so I went to Catholic church in the jail. And the first time that I went there, I was just there really honestly to get out of my pod. I wanted to get away from myself for a minute. So I went to church for 30 minutes. And they do communion. And I hadn't done communion since I was a kid. But what the hell? I'm in jail, went in Rome. So as he's doing his thing, we're doing the communion prayer. Everybody's eating their little cracker and shooting their grape juice. I remember I started getting kind of a sick feeling in my stomach, and like this general level of upsetness was like just overwhelming me to the point where the priest asked if I was okay. I said, I'm suddenly not feeling well. And it felt like there was a legit fight happening inside my body. Like I'm feeling the blows. This hurts. And then I get back up to my cell. They put me in my cell, and I close the door. And I had a little washcloth because in the cells you have windows about that long. They're just nothing, just really so the hacks can look in on you at night, make sure you're still in your cell or you're not raping somebody or something horrible. So I put up a piece of cloth over that, and I dropped that cloth down, sat on my bunk, and just started bawling, like weeping. Not, oh my God, I am in jail. What have I done to my life? None of that. I just have no idea what's happening. But then once I was done, all that internal pain that I had been feeling for the last couple of months sitting in that jail, it just kind of went away. I've been living quite the sin riddled life before I went in there. And I was ready to be done with that kind of a lifestyle. So it's almost like I ate the communion, I said the prayer, and I meant it. And then all hell broke loose inside me.
Wow.
So that to me does not speak to when you die, you're just gone and that's it. To me, there just has to be something next.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So the next time some cunt on Facebook wants to send me a message and ask what makes us so fucking qualified, I'm going to refer you back to just this section of this show where I say what makes us so qualified. We have a microphone. Go fuck yourself.
Man, I like that.
All right. So this is ASN. We are here at ASN for like. Guys, give us a sub. Give us a thumbs down. Drop a comment if you like the show. Drop a comment if you don't like. A thumbs up. Up.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Always up. Always up. Never down.
Thumbs downs. Thumbs downs get the twist around.
Right, because thing is, guys, that thumbs down go to the thumbs down department, and Doug runs that. And Doug is costing us a lot of money on plane tickets. Although he's not flying to anybody's house, he's not taking pliers to them. No. He's not doing any of that.
Let's turn that thumbs down upside down.
So, see you next week.
Yeah.